What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic evening. And this week, because of the holiday, really because I can't get a hold of a Browns content creator, I tried like 5 or 6. Your boy's out here trying. I couldn't get one. So ultimately, as you know, the call in shows, which used to be a staple week in and week out, schedule's gotten a little tighter. All right. I got obligations with sponsors and whatnot, but that means that the call in shows are not very frequent. However, when a show falls through during the week, you guys get the mic. And that's what's happened this week. It happens to be the day before Thanksgiving, by the way. So, one thing I'm going to require tonight, if you call in, you have to give me the take is yours. Whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about Brock. You can talk about Ayuk. You can talk about the Browns game. Anything that your heart desires when it comes to the 49ers. However, I'm going to require that you give me one thing you are thankful for. It can be 49ers related. It can be personal. It could be anything. But you have to give me one thing you are thankful for. That is the rule. So if you can't live up to those expectations, I suggest you don't call in. I'm going to hit this intro. We'll get to the few people backstage. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. So if you want to call in, get in early, get your take off. Let's hit this intro and we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second. And as I said, it is open mic night. I've already got 3 people waiting. So here's the order in which it stands. We've got Korean 49er, we got Alan, we got Joseph. If you want to get in line, I suggest doing it early. It's the way it always works. People are shy in the beginning for whatever reason. And then what ends up happening, we get about 15 minutes into this thing, and everybody starts getting the gumption to call in, or, oh man, I finally got a take. And then all of a sudden you're waiting for 45 minutes because you just didn't want to call in the beginning. So call in, man. Call in and see. We already got another one. Dre's waiting backstage. So here we go. We're going to go with Korean 49er first. He usually kicks this thing off. Of course, he was backstage first. So here we go. What's up, Korean 49er?
I'm good, Jesse. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing really good.
All right, I'll get this out of the way. I'm thankful for having a good job at this part of the year. I got laid off again a second time, twice in 2 years, so had
Jeez,
to get out
man.
of the last industry I was at. Tired of it, so happy to be something that's not in that industry. We'll just say that.
Hey, that's good, man. That's really good. Well, that's
Yep.
something definitely to be thankful for sure.
Yep.
I agree with that one. Good. All right. All right.
Yep.
Now, what are you pissed about? I feel like you got something on your mind here.
A couple things. I was out of town the last time you did one of these, so I was with a
Okay.
buddy at a concert, so just is what it is there. Um, Several 49er takes. First off, Ayuk. You signed a disgruntled player to an extension. You never do that. If he's unhappy, move him on. And you avoid all this. Let somebody else deal with that madness.
So who do you, let me ask you this. Who do you blame for that? Because we know that Kyle had like the last minute run up to John Lynch's office. Hold the phones. Don't trade him to Pittsburgh or whoever he was going to trade him to. Ayuk wants to sign. Like, do you put that on Shanahan? Do you put that on Lynch for not trading him? Like, if the story holds, who would you put it on?
I was to say both Lynch and Shanahan because they already knew how he felt after that second Super Bowl loss. The last Super Bowl loss. Why
Mm-hmm.
are you wanting him to stay with stay with the team? We already knew that he's not a fan of, not a part of the Shanahan clique. So, he's already, and he was in the doghouse right at the beginning. Why even, you know, you already know what you got with him.
Yeah.
Sometimes You
You're
got
making a mistake, right? Like you can't blame Ayuk. You already knew what you were getting into. It's like shame on you for doing it.
exactly, and now you may have to let him go. You know, let him go in releasing him instead of getting some assets for him. Like, to me, I see nothing good coming from this or a lot of the things that this management has done during their tenure. Some nice things, but you see a lot of the things that are just repeating mistakes over and over.
Yeah,
Uh,
most certainly. These contracts are certainly one of them.
And one of the other things is this organization has no plan, because you can see with certain organizations they always have a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, maybe a 10-year plan. Not saying that they have to go 10 years, but at least you have a near window plan and then a middle advanced plan and so forth. Because you can see like teams like the Packers, they're like one of the youngest teams in the league. And what are the 49ers? They don't draft well. They don't usually keep the players they draft, and they have to, always go to the trade market. Not saying that there's always ways to build teams, but that's not the way I want to see this team built and
Yeah, I think long-term
maintained.
success in this league is absolutely built through the draft. Like there's no question about that. That's how you sustain success. Now, making a trade in the middle of a season when you're making a Super Bowl push, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I
In
don't have any
fact, I
problem with
encourage
that.
that. But if that's how you are planning on winning long term, not usually ideal because those guys are 1-year rentals.
Yeah, and this kind of goes. These last 2 points kind of go together. So the game on Sunday against Cleveland,
Hmm.
the Browns had 10 sacks against the Raiders, and the Raiders have a offensive line of Swiss with more holes than a block of Swiss cheese.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
see our offensive line as being just as a block of Swiss cheese with perhaps a few less holes. But if I'm Miles Garrett and I'm lined up against Colton McKivitz, I'm just licking my chops, ready to. If I'm Miles Garrett, I'm like, oh boy, I'm ready to go every time.
Brother, I I
Because you've
don't know how
seen,
Trent Williams is going to hold up against him this week. I'm worried about
bec-
that.
yeah, because look at how many sacks he's gotten against the Patriots. I think he had 4 or 5. He got 4 or 5, 3 or 4 against the Ravens, and now he had another 3 against the Raiders. And and you already know that Jim Schwartz has a very very good record against Kyle Shanahan. I
Yes,
think
he
he's like
does.
8-1 or 8-1 or 9-1 something like that.
Yep. Yep.
And it's going to be a cold and rainy day. We're getting up to 10 inches of snow right by the Great Lakes, so I assume Cleveland's going to be very similar to that. Not snow, it's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be cold
supposed
and
to
rain.
supposed to be some moisture for sure. Cold. Yeah, for sure.
So are we going to ask that Brock hold up? I haven't seen him hold up in those kind of conditions. So
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm Shanahan, I would put in Mac Jones, because I think the bye week is next week, the
It
week
is.
after.
Yep. Yep.
Why don't you give
It
Brock
is.
another couple weeks for his foot to heal?
The problem is they've already come out and said that he's healthy. So you can't then backtrack, right? So
As I
Brock
say,
already said that he's healthy.
I don't believe anything they say. So that's
Oh, I
you
don't
know,
listen. I don't believe it either. I'm just saying when you've got the public perception out there that he's healthy, then all of a sudden if you come out and you're like, well, just kidding, he needs 2 more weeks, like that's a really tough thing to do. The 49ers have put themselves in a bit of a pickle here for sure. We'll see how Brock Purdy plays. Anything else? I got a few people
no,
waiting,
no.
and I don't have the timer up, so I just want to make
I'm
sure.
I'm good, Jesse. You have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Later. All right, man. There you go. April says. April and Corey say, Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, Jess. Thankful that the faithful north of the border have content creators like you to keep guys like me up to date with my team. Much love and respect. Well, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job here for you if I didn't at least tell you that the 49ers signed Eric Kendricks to the practice squad. Now, if you remember last year, they tried to sign him and he agreed to a deal in principle, but it was before the actual signing period of free agency could start. And so he changed his mind, ended up with the Dallas Cowboys. And then Devondre Campbell came here. And we know exactly how that played out. So there you go, man. There you go. All right, I'm gonna get to Alan here. What's up, Alan?
Hey, Jess, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you been?
I've been doing good, man. I want to wish you a very blessed Thanksgiving, man. Appreciate
Thank
you
you,
doing
man.
this all year, man. I know it's not easy balancing this and your other job, man. We do really appreciate you, man. I know you probably don't hear it a
Thank
lot,
you.
but we do appreciate you a lot,
No,
man.
no, I definitely don't hear it a lot, brother. So I appreciate it. Listen, I'm gonna soak this one all in.
Well, we do appreciate you. I know, like you said, you don't have a lot of calling shows, so we can't do this frequently, but just know
Mm,
you do matter to us because, like you said, y- you, Grant, Larry, we get all our content from y'all. Like you say, everybody gets their own picks and choosing.
for
But
sure.
but I love listening to you and Grant for all these years, man. I do appreciate you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Uh, hold on, bro. Messed up. I got you. But yeah, just I wanted to let you know, uh, this whole Brock thing. I feel like this was doomed from the start. I think you called that since the off season, and you said there's a certain threshold in pricing, which I fully 100% agree on. Um, but I feel like I think this season was doomed once they paid them a certain amount. Yeah, I know there's outs, but I just feel like they should have waited one more year, like you said. But be honest with you, you called it since that last Super Bowl we lost that we should have just gutted it because this would have been the perfect year for us to make a run.
Oh
Chiefs is
gosh,
Chiefs is
yes.
depleted. The Eagles not as great as people think they are on paper, but this has been the perfect year for us to make a run. If they listened to you sooner, so you let people go.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because like you look at this year, one of the best teams obviously is the Rams, but it's like, well, that's a division game and that can go any way at any time. The 49ers do a good job against them. The NFL is wide open. I didn't necessarily expect that to happen this year. But we knew they weren't going to get rid of these guys after that Super Bowl run. We knew they were going to try one more time, and even now, as much as they've stripped it down, and I do appreciate the fact that they did that, I think that was the right move. I still think they could have even gone a little bit further. But such is life. They're at least in a good position next year, salary cap wise, to restock this team a little bit. But it all depends on how these draft picks do. If these draft picks don't pan out, then you're going to be spending that money to replace the guys you already drafted, and you're still behind the eight ball. So,
Yeah, and this is my whole thing is I think the biggest problem that Kyle and John lacked is when to let people go or when to trade players away.
mm,
I feel like that's the biggest flaw. Because besides the drafting thing, I know that's one of the key issues, but I feel like it's knowing who to pay and when to pay is where they screwed themselves,
mm,
especially with the salary cap. That and like there's potential trades we could have done, like getting rid of Debo sooner, getting rid of Ayuk sooner, uh, even shoot, maybe even trading away Kittle. I know everybody loves Kittle, but we could have got more assets like other teams done, like the Eagles. You don't remember the Carson went led Eagles, Jesse, that stacked squad. Uh,
yeah.
but they did what needed to get done. Yeah, they sucked for a couple of years, but look where they're at now. Now they're the top of the NFL for now until they get dethroned. But I feel
Well,
like that's our
let's
biggest
also
issue.
not forget though. And I think you bring up a really good point. And the Eagles specifically, let's talk about them for just a second. They didn't have nostalgia over going to a Super Bowl and losing to the Chiefs the way the 49ers seem to. Let's not forget that defensive line, the defensive line that lost to the lost to the Chiefs a couple years ago in the Super Bowl had 75 sacks, one of the most all time for any team. They could have easily been like, hey, we need to re-sign all these guys and run it back. They didn't do that. They literally all four starters were gone the next year. They had a bit of a down year. They still made the playoffs. They had a bit of a down year. That was more coordinator related than anything. And then the year after, they won the Super Bowl with a whole revamped defense. So They could have been nostalgic and been like, hey, you know, this got us there. They were this close to winning the Super Bowl themselves, but they didn't do that. They knew exactly what to do. And they always have a 3-year running plan. Always have a 3-year running plan. The 49ers don't necessarily seem to have that. They go into the draft and they're like, what do we need right now this year to make this year's team the best? Well, that's what we're going to draft for. But that doesn't help you long term necessarily.
Well, then the one thing Eagles do best that we don't is getting their own line straight. Because I
Yes.
think personally, Jesse, I think you can agree with me on this. People love Hurts, and I do as a player, right? But is
Mm.
he this level of quarterback that everybody makes him seem to be? I don't think so.
Oh, no,
No,
no.
that's me being honest. A lot of it's really covered up with his own line. Without his own line, man, I feel like he'd be same situation Brock will be in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, perfect example people have to go back to is remember uh Jalen Hurts' first playoff game when they first ever introduced that 7 seed, and all he was good for was running the ball, right? It was pretty much a
Mm-hmm.
Lamar before Lamar was labeled a running back and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, but like my whole point is, I feel like they told us when they first started, man, and I feel like you agree, is that they wanted to build the trenches, which I love to hear that, right? I'm an O-line, D-line kind of guy,
Yep.
but I feel like they're just doing the opposite, you know? What's one little spot we can finesse or, catch space and stuff from instead of the skill positions they did the online, and you can't just
Yeah.
beat some of these teams with how bad our online is.
Yeah. You're right about that. You're right about that. And they've continued to pour into the D line unsuccessfully for the most part,
And
and
and then
have
be honest with you,
never
Jesse,
revamped the O line.
yeah. And most of our draft bust is D line.
Yeah. Yeah. It's supposed to be one of the easier positions, really, to draft, especially interior D line.
Well, they don't go. They love to go offense for scheme, but never defense for scheme.
Mm,
Right? They always go.
mm.
Remember, like Mikael Williams is more of a was a project prospect
Yep. Yep.
instead of getting somebody like Walter Nolan, like you've been digging the table for. Man, wish we had him.
Yeah, but he can't stay healthy, oddly enough. All of a sudden he's getting hurt all of a sudden. So who knows if he would, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. I do like Mikael Williams. It's super unfortunate though, because
I did
you're
too.
talking
He
about
looked like he was improving as each
he
week was going.
he was, but see the problem is he's a project player, right? And
Mm.
because of that, he really needs these off seasons to grow, and he's not going to get that this next off season. He's going to be rehabbing. He's not going to be getting better. He's going to be trying to get back to where he was. So is he ever going to fully pan out? Is he ever going to reach that potential? It's going to be
Well,
hard to if he doesn't
the
have these off seasons.
yeah, I agree. Do you know another one that we was all worried about too, Jesse, was Alfred Collins. All the reports throughout training camp he wasn't doing well, but look how great he's doing now. Yeah,
I know. I know.
he ain't the greatest, but he's showing flashes. But I feel like he might be one of those players you want to watch early next year to improve on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All
All
right,
right,
Alan.
that's it.
Hey, listen,
I,
man, I appreciate you. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And
you
it's
too,
always good to
man.
hear from you.
I love talking about with you, man. It's
Thanks,
always
man.
good to
Have a
hear
good
from
one.
you. You too, man.
You too, brother. All right,
Yeah.
bye. There we go. Dre, we're going to get to you in just a second here. I want to get to this super chat. Joseph says, I'm thankful for you and the content creators all across YouTube. I appreciate you. ATP, I toot, I toot for the Niners to lose every week. This era is done. Just wasting time. Listen, I think he means I root. I don't know what to make of you, Joseph, because I feel like you go so hard on Brock Purdy and this team sometimes that I'm like, is this a bit? Is this like a thing where you've kind of just jumped in to the channel and you think like, hey, Jesse can be a little bit negative, and so I'm going to amplify that, or you just have fun with it, or like, is this really how you think? I don't know. Either way, I do appreciate you. You've been a longtime contributor. I love that you're in here. It's a lot of fun. Some of the things you say is wild, but I don't know. I don't know for sure, like what your thoughts are, man. You just have a deep hatred for Brock. Okay, I don't know. Listen, it's so funny because I'm labeled like this Brock hater, but like I don't hate Brock. I think Brock's a good person. At least he comes across that way. I don't know. I just don't think he's a great football player. So, anyways, all right. Let me bring in Dre. See what he's talking about. What's up, Dre?
What's going on, bro? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Shit, I'm good, man. Just at work still. I'm in Cali. I got to pick up this load and take it back home, but I'll be home tonight though, a little bit late work.
All right. You gonna good Thanksgiving with the family in or what?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm most thankful for, man. It's family and health, bro. We never know how
Good.
long we got on this earth, man. A lot of times we take it for granted. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely
Ain't that the truth?
thankful for family and health and being able to go home and have people around me that love me, bro. That's more important than anything. It's not about all of this other stuff we kind of make it about most of the time. It's about the memories that we make while we're here. You know what I mean? So that's extremely important.
Brother, you are spitting right now. That's exactly what it's about. It is about family. It is about being loved, loving on other people, and just waking up and being able to breathe is a blessing. And you're right. I mean, I think a lot of times things will get tough, and we kind of feel sorry for ourselves, or oh, boo me, I got this or this going on. It's like, no, man, you got another day of life. Like you're lucky, you're blessed.
Yeah,
So I agree with that.
yeah. Yeah, and we gotta look at other people's situation too, man. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's not as bad as we think it is, but
I agree.
but
I
bro, I'm
agree.
I'm 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 not really mad about anything, but it's more a little bit irritated.
Mhm.
I see a lot of people. I mean, one guy told me that I needed I was a clown because I was criticizing Brock Purdy and saying that he's not better than Mac Jones right now, and I told him, well, shit, get my face paint because I'm ready for it. The look, bro. So I was live and direct at State Farm Stadium last weekend, and
Mhm.
I went on NBN at the halftime, and I told him I was there in person, bro. Every ball he was throwing, it was selling. He was
Mm.
selling balls, bro, and he's still doing it right now. I mean, the
Yep.
guy has the guy has 21 interceptions in his last 30 games. What does that tell you, bro? It's not going to work. He has 7 interceptions this year, and he's only played what 4 games, 3 games. I mean,
Brother,
it's
think
not going to
about
work.
this for a second. Let me put this into perspective for you, and then I'm gonna let you cook because you're definitely cooking. But let me put this into perspective for you. Matthew Stafford has played 11 games and has 2 interceptions. Brock has 3 games with at least 2 interceptions, and he's only played 4 this year or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like, what are
yeah.
we doing right now?
It's yeah, it's just it's not good. It's not going to work. I support Brock, but at the end of the day, bro, I'm not a Brock Purdy fan. I'm a 49er fan, and
Mm,
as of right now, Mac Jones is a better quarterback, and they made a huge mistake by giving this guy that much money. You was right, Jesse. I was one of the detractors, bro, that went against you and said that Brock Purdy was worth the money. I'm
mm.
going to formally admit to you right now that I was wrong. You was right, Jesse. He was right, bro. He was not worth it. He was not worth it. I love your Brock, but you ain't no $53 million man. 33 million, yeah, I give him the contract that Baker Mayfield got, but the contract he got right now, oh boy. And I'm happy they got it out after next year. I mean, if it's me, I'm not trading Mac Jones. I'm keeping Mac Jones on the squad. If Brock Purdy has another shitty year next year, he's gone, and I'm signing Mac Jones. And that's just me. And y'all can say whatever y'all want in the comments and whatever the case may be. It don't matter. What y'all eat don't make me shit. So it don't matter what nobody
Mm.
else thinks. But I'm going off of what I see.
Yeah,
I'm 40 years. I just turned 40 years old this year, bro, and I've been
yeah.
watching football since I could comprehend it, and I was at the age of 7, bro. So that's 33 years of football, bro. I know this game, and I know what I watch and what I see. And Brock Purdy, he just ain't got it, bro. And I think that elbow injury did more damage to the zip on the ball and his anticipation than people actually give credit to. That was a pretty bad, wasn't it? The same thing as like a Tommy John or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a different surgery, but as far as like the what happened, it's the same surgery that would
The
normally
same
require
surgery.
Tommy John. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, bro. I think, and if we want to keep it real, that's when the change came. After the Tommy John, that's when we see the hesitation, the double and triple hitches. It's like, bro, like he had on 2 of his interceptions. This past Monday, he triple hitched the ball. It's like, bro, get one hitch, get into it, and throw the damn ball. What is you shuffling for? This ain't. What is we doing? The cha cha, motherfucker? Like what's going on? Like what's happening?
He even said it.
I
He
don't
even
get it.
admitted he was hitching on those for no and it's but to your point, I mean, I don't know that he has the arm to make those throws, and so he's got to hitch. What else is he gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, if you know that you're questioning your arm power, that means that you should do everything in your power to get back, take your 3 step drop, and when you come out of that 3 step drop, you got to be willing to fire that ball. And if not, regather your feet, get outside the pocket, get on your horse, and try to get some yards or check it down. I mean, on the first interception, he had Christian McCaffrey in the flats.
Hmm.
On the second interception, he had George
Kittle.
Kittle right underneath him, bro. I mean, wide open, or he could have ran for a
Hmm.
first down or maybe even a touchdown. And then
Yep.
on the third one, he had damn, who was that? I think it wasn't George Kittle. Was it Luke Farrell? I think it was Farrell. He had
Probably
Farrell
Farrell. Yeah.
underneath. Yeah, so it's just like, bro, he had options, and that's the difference between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Mac Jones is going to try to make something. Brock Purdy's going to try to make something, bro. Mac Jones, he's just going to take what you give him. He's going to live to play another down. Yeah, it might be a 4 or 5, 6 yard completion, but he's not throwing no interceptions like that. And Purdy, he's just gonna try to make the big play all the time. And sometimes you got to do like John Witherspoon said on Friday, rest in peace. You got to live to fight another day, and that's what
Yep.
Brock ain't doing. He ain't living to fight another day. He ain't doing that. Bro, we need the time of possession. There's nothing wrong with having 12, 13, 14, 15 plays. Take those take those short receptions. We want those long drives because that's the less time that our defense has to be on the field. And I think Mac understands that. And what did Brock say before the game? So what did you learn from did you learn anything from Mac Jones? We know it's not a quarterback controversy. Well, yeah, I just learned to take what the defense gives you. Well, motherfucker, if that's what you learned, then what was you doing? 'Cause that's not what I seen, my brother. You wasn't taking what they was giving you. You was trying to take what wasn't there. Okay? I mean, I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, you get respect to Kyle, but Kyle, you full of shit. You know those wasn't the right throws. Those wasn't the right throws. Now they the right throws if he's gonna throw in anticipation, if he's going to get the ball there and not triple and double hitch. But no, let's take the 8 yard, the 9 yard crossing routes that's across the middle of the field because they were playing with backup linebackers because their starters are out just like ours. Like you got to take advantage of what they give you, and he didn't do that, bro. So to all of the detractors online that's comparing, bro. Oh well, Joe Montana threw 3 interceptions. Look,
Bro,
motherfucker,
I cannot stand this. Yeah, go ahead.
stop it, stop it. We are not going to compare Brock Purdy to the great Joe Montana. Let's stop it, okay? Let's stop it. Cool Joe is
We're
on a
we're
different level.
seeing we're seeing it everywhere, and it's funny because you're seeing these raw stats. I saw one today that was like Josh Allen has 3 such games with 3+ interceptions. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, so does Brock Purdy. Josh Allen has thrown 4,000 more passes in his career and has 77 more starts. These raw
What are we
stats are
doing?
fantastic, but what are we actually doing here? What are we comparing? And
Right.
not to mention these other guys that have these multiple, like 3+ interception games. Usually they're throwing the ball like 40, 45, 50 times in
Oh
those
my
games.
gosh.
Brock's
Oh
not
my
even making
gosh.
it to league average. He's at like 30 attempts
30.
and
Yeah.
three
Yeah. Because
interceptions, 4
because
interceptions. Like, what are we doing?
because he makes bad decisions and then Kyle says, "Okay, I'm going to put the training wheels on you."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's gonna put the training wheels on you. We have even in the game where Mac threw an interception, he still had 316 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. I mean, the week before that, the man threw for 346 yards. I mean, I don't, it's not to pin one guy against another. We just got to be real and speak the facts. If we're speaking the facts right now, Mac Jones, he played in Massachusetts for years, okay? The man knows how to play in cold weather. He has about 2 inches on Brock. You know what I'm saying? His hands are bigger. Let Mac play in Cleveland. Let Mac play in Cleveland. It's easy, Kyle. Tomorrow when y'all at practice, put Brock on the injury report. Hey, the toe came up. We gonna start Mac. hey, Brock, you got this week, you got next week. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to buy. You damn near basically got like 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then you could come back. But right now, we need Mac to win this game. I don't trust Brock. I'm
It's gonna be
sorry,
rough,
Brock.
man. I'll tell you what. Listen, for everybody that wants to praise Brock profusely, no matter what, if Brock comes out and plays well in this game, he deserves a lot of praise because there's a lot of
Yeah,
reason that he shouldn't play well in this game. He deserves a lot of
Jesse.
praise, and I'll be the first one to line up and do it.
Hey, bro, Jesse, I will eat crow shit. Okay, if
Hmm.
we are 9-4, I don't care if we win by one point. If we are
Yep.
9-4 after playing the Cleveland Browns and basically it's supposed to be snow. It's not, but the good thing is it's going to be really cold, so the chances of it being like a lot of precipitation is going to be low.
Hmm.
So that's the good thing. You know, last year it was like 40s, but the rain was coming down. This
Hmm.
game is going to be like 31 degrees. It's going to be pretty cold. So if anything, it's going to snow, and I would rather play in snow with Brock Purdy than rain any day. So we're just going to see what happens, bro. I just want
We'll
to
see.
win.
We'll see.
I just want to win.
All right, Dre. Hey, great call, man. I just sat back and listened to that one. That was fantastic. You
No
said
doubt.
basically everything that I've been thinking, man. So good
Yeah,
job, man.
no
Good
doubt,
job.
bro. Much love to you. Happy
You too.
Thanksgiving, my brother.
You
All
too,
right.
man. You too. Talk to you. Bye. Great call. Gosh, man, he hit on all the points. Absolutely hit on all the points. He was certainly cooking there. Let me hit this sleeper ad read real quick here. Hold on a second. Hold on. Bear with me. I wasn't really prepared. I haven't done this very often, so what are you gonna do? Oh, that's not it. That's definitely not it. There we go. Even better. There it is. All right, listen. You can get a 100% deposit match of up to $100 using promo code LSS. The link is pinned to the top of the description. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy football app out there. I use it in my dynasty league with Sunil, and I use it to have a little skin in the game with the more or lesses. And I've already made my picks for this week. So here's how they went. First of all, I took my freebie. This was yesterday. Took my freebie and Luca. He already cleared this. This was easy. Tomorrow, I'm going to be enjoying this game because I got $10 down to win 336. It's not going to be easy, but I need Montgomery to go for 50 plus rushing yards. I need Gibbs to go for 69.5. So get me 70. Jacobs to get an anytime TD and Watson to get an anytime TD. If those things hit, I will get 336 just by putting in 10. You can tail me, you can fade me, but either way, use promo code LSS when signing up for Sleeper. Like I said, link is in the top of the description. All right, let's get back to it, fellas. We got Joseph waiting. We got PJ waiting. Let's bring in Joseph here, see if he's ready. What's up, Joseph?
Yo, what's up, Jesse?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Couldn't be better.
What I want to hit on? Yeah, no, I hate Brock Purdy, bro. I gotta be real.
Okay, listen. It's like, is this a bit? Is this a bit that he's got going on? Like, no way, because you go in on him, like
No,
on Brock Purdy. I'm like, golly.
no. The funny thing is, I was like his biggest like supporter in 2022, and in
Yeah,
my opinion, that 2022 team was like the team. I think that team was
yeah,
better than 2023, personally.
I agree.
Uh,
Yep.
but no, man. Like I used to be like the biggest Brock Purdy fan, but then he's kind of like tore up now, man. He's so injury prone, and then people are like, "Oh, he has so much mobility than Mac." It's
Oh no, I lost him. I bet you got a call. This is the problem. See if he can come back here. Here, I'll remove him. I'll read these supers. We'll give him a chance to get back in here. We got Downtown Sid Brown says, Happy Thanksgiving, Jesse, from the Browns and the Mosleys. Appreciate you. Appreciate your content as always. Hey, man, we appreciate you, or I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting and always watching, man. Carl says, certain things in life are inevitable. Taxes due, in April. Sun comes up in the AM. Rent due on the 1st. Brock Purdy throws the football to the defense just like clockwork. Yeah, man. It's starting to feel that way for sure. All right, let's bring Joseph back in here. What's up, Joseph?
Damn, sorry about that, bro. I got a phone call.
I knew it. I said you got a phone call. All right, go ahead.
No, but like people are like, oh, he's so mobile and this and that. But like, what happens when he becomes mobile? Oh, he gets injured. What happened last season? He injured his shoulder. He's out. What happened this season? He injured his toe. You know, I don't care about his mobility. He's a small quarterback. That's just what's going to happen to him. I personally don't think he's even a starter in this league. I don't think he's top 32, like I'm always saying in the NFC roundtable. But yeah, no, and I think like this like hatred for like the team because I'm a younger fan, so I was born in 2000, so I've only really experienced like disappointment. You know, like we make it to the Super Bowl, and then it's just a disappointment. We make it to the NFC Championship, Brock gets injured. So I think that's the whole point and the reason why I almost root for this team to lose because this regime is almost kind of done. I don't know. It's starting to feel like there's like a split in it with like Kyle and John a little. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're like the Cowboys, bro. You know?
Golly, dude. I'll tell you what. Life started out pretty well for you, though. You know, you're 11 years old. This team starts making Super Bowls. You start to think that's the norm. Then we got a few crap years, and then we're right back to it. And to be this close, man, I feel bad for fans that were born at around that time that really started getting into Niner football right when it started to look good and then haven't seen a Super Bowl because like I'm used to just watching them win Super Bowls when I was younger. You know what I mean? I was 11 years old when they won in 94. Like that's what I remember.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's like the same thing that my dad's always saying. And so he's like more of like an optimistic fan to where I'm more negative. But yeah, no. But we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Don't worry. All right.
All right, hey man, great way to end it. Hey, real quick before you get out of here, what are you thankful for?
Well, I said in the super chat earlier, I'm thankful for you, like you, Grant, and Larry, because you guys make the whole season and the off season just so much more fun to be a football fan. Like I literally that's you guys are the only thing I listen to. I don't even listen to music anymore, like even at the gym and shit. But no, and like realistically thankful for like my family, you know, the typical stuff. But anyways, yeah. All right. Love you, Joseph.
Good.
All
All
right,
right, man. Love you too, brother. Talk to you. All right, there's Joseph, who actually hates Brock Purdy that much. So there you go. Right from the horse's mouth. All right, we're gonna go with PJ and then Ayush. All right, let me bring in PJ here. What's up, PJ?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just starting off with what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for you, Coach, and Grant. Y'all provide great content and having a good job. That's what I'm thankful for.
Hey, good, man. The job's definitely more important, but I appreciate that we can get you through for sure.
Well, as far as what I wanted to bring to the table, I really appreciate how you guys are honest and upfront about Purdy because I used to like him the first couple years, but I think last year started to help me see him in a different light because once the roster started to kind of crumble with the injuries and everything, I started to see who he really was because he wasn't able to elevate the team. And this year is giving more confirmation that he's not who some people thought he was. And now I'm realizing, okay, Brock, you're not quite the guy. And then they pay him all this money. And I was like you. I was like, do not pay him this whole season. And they did anyway. And now we're starting to see some of those results.
Yeah, man. It is tough for sure. And it's not a popular opinion. I'll tell you what, man. I take heat on the regular for my Brock Purdy opinion, but and the thing is, it's so funny because you're a great example. Dre, who just called in, a great example. Joseph, who called in, all of you guys basically said the same thing, which is like, I was a Brock Purdy supporter, big supporter, but at some point, like the blinders fell off. I realized who he was, and you got to put the team first. And that's exactly what it is. Like, God, I've got tweets dating back to 2021 pumping this kid up like, oh man, when he comes out the draft. I remember the year we drafted Trey Lance, I was talking about him on Grant Show. I was like, listen, next year, this kid, Brock Purdy, like, I really like him. So I like Brock Purdy, and I loved that they drafted him. I thought they stole him for the 7th round pick. And then obviously that first year, man, he captured all of our imaginations. It was so cool to watch him go on that run. But you start to watch him play even when it was going well, and you're like, oh man, there's a lot of balls that you're putting in defenders' hands and they're just not catching them. Like, eventually that's going to catch up to you. And that's what it's been. And so, when you look at it now and you look at it objectively, like, that's just what it is. It's nothing against him personally. Hell, if he was making next to no money, I'll take the type of play he brings us. But right now, man, to make that kind of money, to be labeled the franchise guy, for people to elevate him like he's elite, we have eyes, man. We all have eyes. Don't sit here and gaslight us. We can see too.
I totally agree. And what really annoys me is that the media, particularly like the Bay Area reporters, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, and other people, they act like it's a crime that we're calling him out when he's messing up, and they make excuses like, oh, he's rusty. Oh, he just had a little bit of off half. He'll be better. And it's like, if you're going to pay him like a top 10 quarterback, you need to show the same smoke that you would to Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and all those other good quarterbacks. So if you're gonna give him credit when he does well, you need to objectively call him out when he's messing up. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're just afraid to do that. And it's like, you have to stop calling him.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I feel like listen, I'm not necessarily saying Brock is Jimmy Garoppolo, but I feel like we're right back in the same situation. Like, right now is the peak of the Jimmy Garoppolo conversation, which was, you had a big chunk of the fan base, probably 60%, that was still behind him, but you're starting to get more and more. We're probably sitting at about 40%, it feels like, that is like out on Brock Purdy. And every time he plays bad, that portion of the fan base is growing, and it feels just like the same discourse. We're literally running this back to like 2020 right now. This is exactly where we're at. It's crazy.
Totally agree. And I know, Jess, I know you have other callers, but I just wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about the BA situation? Because we heard reports from Jeremy Fowler about how he wasn't showing up for rehab or didn't want to use their rehab facilities. What are your thoughts about that one?
I had actually heard this. And so if you go back and you listen to the show with Grant the day after the news broke, I brought it up as an opinion. And the only reason I brought it up as an opinion is because I was asked to not outright say it. But I brought it up as an opinion, and I said, hey, is it possible that maybe he was just rehabbing away from the team because he didn't trust the team doctors? That's exactly what it was. And it doesn't surprise me, man. Like, there's always been an issue with Ayuk and this team going back to literally his rookie year. And when you look at the injuries the 49ers have, the repeated injuries, how long it takes for some of these guys to rehab, is it really a crime that Ayuk wanted to take his rehab into his own hands? It's not as if he wasn't rehabbing, by the way. He has been healthy for over 6 weeks. He's wanted to play football. The 49ers won't clear him because he's not going through their doctors. And so that's why he's fully stepped away from the team at this point, and he's probably not going to play again. Even though it would probably be smart to do so that he can showcase his skills to the next suitor, he's just over it. And so that's the impasse that they are at. He has been healthy. He rehabbed away from the team. He didn't trust the team doctors, and that's just the way he chose to attack it. And, they've wanted to get rid of him, and so they used that and found the out in the contract, and that's just what it is.
Do you know if there was actual verbiage in the contract where he had to use their specific positions, or was he be allowed to use different positions outside of the confines of their organization? Or are you sure wondering about
that? That I don't know. I don't know the specifics of the contract. I've got to imagine that there's probably some language in there. At the very least, there's certain check-ins that you're asked to do. And rehab things you're asked to do with the team doctors. He chose not to do that, and ultimately that's what they used against him. So,
okay. Oh, well, thanks. I'm not going to try. I know you have other people waiting, but thanks for the talk. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, PJ. Have a happy Thanksgiving, man.
Oh, you too, man.
All right, brother. Good call. Good call. Okay, let's get to Ayush, and then we got EMA Beats. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. Here we go. What's up, Ayush?
So Jesse, how you doing?
Doing good. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you're saying right.
Okay,
Yeah, good
perfect.
job. Yeah. So I'll start. I guess. So like, despite what the Purdy fans might say, like physical talent like matters a lot in the NFL, like especially at quarterback.
Yeah.
So like I would say before the toe injury, like Brock was like at the cusp of arm talent that works in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But like now you can see like whenever he throws the ball, it floats like a balloon, and it's really easy to pick off because it's in the air for so long. Um, And with that, like the only way Kyle can really make this offense work is like that Jimmy G, like dink and duck offense. Get
Uh-huh.
CMC and Kittle lined up 1v1 against like slower linebackers, or like hit Ricky or Juwan on slants. But like there's like very clear limitations to that, as like we seen with Jimmy. So if like Purdy doesn't come back like next season with that velocity back, do you see them getting out in 2027 when they have an out? And I also have a follow up to that question. Do you see a scenario in which they move on, even if they make the playoffs next season as well?
Oh man, this one's tough. Because obviously winning is the most important thing, and even though he's playing bad, they are finding ways to win. I think it is much easier to bench Brock Purdy in a year in which you have an out at the end of the contract than it is to do it this year, right? So if Brock Purdy continues to play at this level or close to it, I could see a scenario next year where they're finally like, that's enough. We're benching him. And then they'll use that out. But because they don't have the out at the end of this year, you technically his contract hasn't even really kicked in, his new contract. And so because of that, you kind of are forced to play him. Like, how silly would it look that you gave this man 4 games into a season after he signed his contract and you're like, yeah, we screwed up. They're never going to do that. But next year, they certainly could. Like, if it starts costing them games and he is turning the ball over at this clip, yeah, I think they'll eventually move on from him and let him go at the end of the year and do it with less fear. In fact, I think if this was next year, just 1 year ahead, he'd already be benched. I really believe that.
I see. Yeah, because like next season we're going against the AFC West, so you have the Broncos defense, Chargers
And
defense, Chiefs
NFC
defense,
East.
and NFC East with probably a revamped Cowboys secondary, NFC, obviously Vic Fangio defense, and then we'll see what the Commanders and Giants do. Giants have the potential to be something special if they get the coaching right.
Well,
Because
their
their
defense should be good at the
yeah,
very least.
yeah,
They've got horses over there. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, if he plays like this against those teams, like we will lose games. We will lose games, and
for sure.
depending on how early how hard the early schedule is, we can totally start seeing like a 2021 type season where we start out 3-5, and the sirens are like just going off.
Yeah, you're right. Where are those games going to be placed? We don't necessarily quite know, but next season is going to be a very tough schedule for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all I had. Yeah, thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. You have a good one. All right.
You too. Thank you.
All right, man. Later. I forgot to hit him with what is he thankful for. Gosh, let that one drop the ball there. Casey Cole says, I wouldn't rehab with San Francisco's docs either. LMAO. Right? Like I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. I don't blame Ayuk. Now, listen, maybe he was being a little bit petty, little Tom Petty, and he could have done some check-ins and he chose not to do that. I think Ayuk is just as happy to get out of this contract as the 49ers are to let him out. It's been weird. It's been weird the whole time. This whole thing has been weird. So I'm not surprised that that he didn't even ask the players union to fight it. He's just like, whatever, I'm out. I do worry though. I have a feeling that Brandon Ayuk is going to turn into like OBJ was towards the end of his career, where he's going to get a bunch of 1-year contracts for like 4 years in a row and then be out the league. I could see that happening. Maybe. I mean, maybe he just goes to Washington, balls out for a year, gets a 2 or 3 year deal, and is fine. But I think it's a calculated risk, and it's a lot of money he's walking away from. Anyways, let me bring in EMA Beats. What's up, bro?
What's up, Jazz? How you been, champ?
Hey, I've been great, man. How you been?
Been good, man. Been good, man. Congrats, man, on your fitness journey, man. And you
Thank
know
you.
you over there, the discipline and everything, man, is worth it, ain't it?
It is, bro. It really is. It's so funny because I was talking to my family tonight. I haven't had like my thing. The one thing I love is I have a sweet tooth. I've always loved sweets. I haven't had a single sweet since 10 days into July. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I'm thinking like, okay, like if there's gonna be a day to do it, it'd be that day. But then it's like part of me's going, yeah, but I mean, then I'm breaking my 4.5 month streak. Like, am I really willing to do that? So I don't know, man. The wheels are turning for sure.
Yeah, man. That's amazing, man. In July, I mean, I don't know how many of us in the chat can say that. I know I sure can't, and that's a guilty pleasure for sure, man. The sweets, especially around the holidays.
They
But
get me, man.
congratulations on that, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So, man, where do we start? Um, you know, is Salah, is he guaranteed a head coaching spot next year?
No. In fact, I think he's going to be here next year. I really do.
I do. I want him to be here, and I feel like he should. It'd be advantageous for him to get one more year with us. He's showing what he can do, obviously, with a side full of rookies and third, fourth string guys. You might have what has he got? Demo, I think, is the only first string defensive player that we have right now that he's actually coaching. Him and what's his
Green.
name? Yeah, Renardo. But that's it. So I mean, that says a lot. But I feel like teams are going to be a bit iffy. He had 3 years, that weren't successful with the Jets, and back to it being advantageous for him. Go one more year while you'll have, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, another year of, hopefully getting some extra additions in the draft. I just feel like it would be good for him and for us. You know what I mean? It'd be a mutual benefit if he, does stay a year again with us. So I'm hoping he does, man. Fingers crossed, because what he's been able to do, I mean, he's essentially the reason why I think we are where we are right now, record wise. If I'm being honest.
Listen, if you told me at the beginning of the season that they would be down their whole starting defensive line, essentially, their best linebacker in Fred Warner had multiple injuries all across that team, and the defense in week 12 would be carrying them to victory over a healthy offense, I'd have laughed in your face. Like, there's no way that should have happened. If that defense didn't do what they did this last week, which, listen, nobody would have faulted them with all the injuries. They would have gotten cooked by the Panthers, man. The offense did everything they could to give that game away. They tried everything. I literally tweeted out at one point, if Brock's trying to throw this game, he's doing a bad job of faking it. Because, brother, I mean, it was so obvious. Like, what is going on, man? This guy is just trash right now. They try, and even CMC fumbled. They tried to give the game away. The defense, Robert Saleh deserves all the credit in the world. However, to your original question, which is, do you think he's gone this year? The reason I don't think he gets hired is because he's only one cycle removed from being a head coach. Defensive coaches usually don't get hired at the same clip as offensive coaches. It's not as sexy. And if they're going to go with a defensive coach, there's two young defensive coaches that haven't had a chance that will be the sexy picks. And that's the Chargers defensive coordinator, and that's the Rams defensive coordinator. Those two guys, I think, will get a chance to be hired before Robert Saleh, just because he's had his crack in this league. I think Robert Saleh is going to have to wait one more cycle, perform again next year, and then he'll get a job. I think he's going to be here next year. I do.
Yeah. You made great points, and I heard some stuff about the Titans, and I'm like, they just got rid of Vrabel, and Vrabel's a defensive coach, and I mean, he had no success there, so I don't see that ever happening. But to your points though, that to me makes a lot more sense. So fingers crossed, man. I would like him to be here one more year, and we'll see what happens with that. I'm concerned about Kyle. You know how hard headed he is, and the stuff like you were saying with Brock. I mean, 3 strikes, you're out. Like you throw 3 picks in the game. I don't care if it's the first half. Let's get a change of pace. Let me bring Mac in here, bring it down a little bit. But he went with Brock because he knew that he was going to get drilled at the next press conference about him switching out Brock that quickly, even though he threw picks, 3 that is. But it was like I think he was worried about the scrutiny that he was going to get by switching Brock out, and then it being a question as to his belief in Brock and him being the starter and the big pay guy and all those things. So because I think he only had 3 passes in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, excuse me,
6.
9.
6
Okay,
passes.
6.
6,
Okay.
yeah, 6 in the second
Excuse me.
half, and none of them went beyond 10 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's essentially no passes in the second half at all. And so it's kind of like Kyle was saying he felt fine, but it's like Kyle, we saw the plays. You can cut the ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but what do you think about, lastly, what do you think about the wide receivers? Do you think we could benefit from adding Elijah Moore since he just got cut from the Bills? Do you think we could benefit from him because he was really good at Ole Miss, and he's a first round pick. I don't think he's really got an opportunity to get into the right system or right team. And I mean, if he's low cost, I mean, what do we lose by trying to add, a former first round pick who's really got a lot of juice? I mean, he's super fast, and I think he's got some talent. You know what I mean?
Who was this again? Sorry, I missed the name.
Elijah Moore.
Oh, Elijah Moore. Yeah. I mean, I'm
I know.
fine taking flyers on guys like that for sure. It just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's some point it's like, we saw like Jalen Rager, some of these guys, they bounce around the league, and it's like, you're a first round talent, but are you really, like, I don't know, Laquan Treadwell, like, I don't know. There's a lot of these guys around the league that are supposed to be that type of player, and they just never really pan out. And especially like when I look at guys who are more like burners in this league, and then you put them in this offense, like, well, where's the burner in this offense? Who do we use on straight go balls, and what quarterback's getting him a 9 route 40, 50 yards down the field anyways? Like, I just don't think it'll work here.
Yeah, no, that makes sense though too, because we aren't doing much of stretching the field, and we still have the young guy Jordan Watkins, correct. And so Kyle's not even using him. He's not really sending anybody to kind of take the top off the defense. So he's not offensively, he's not calling plays like that. So yeah, I got you. I mean, I think we have the players. We don't need them. We wouldn't need if anything, we need other positional we have other positional needs, but we got Kendricks coming back. I don't know how I feel about that. He chose the Cowboys. I guess that below 500 10 back-to-back seasons didn't really sit too well with him. So now he has some some remorse, and he's figuring, I should have stayed with this team to begin with. So since he's got an op, he's coming. So I'm not excited, but if he can come and actually contribute to the team, man, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, he can at least wear that green dot, on his helmet and call plays like he's a veteran in this league. But that didn't work out for the 49ers or him, unfortunately. But it was a bad choice on both sides, because then the 49ers got Devondre Campbell, and that was terrible. So, it didn't work either way.
Show you right, man. Okay, champ. Yeah, thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you as always, man.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right, later. These are always my favorite. FM Antenna says Josh Allen wonders if you still love him. Of course, I love Josh Allen. And he's supposed to be the best. No excuses. Nope. Who sat up here and made excuses? Josh Allen had a piss poor game. He's had a few of them this year. Like, there's no excuses. The difference is, because I know exactly where this is going. It's like, well, I mean, Josh Allen plays bad, so why can't Brock Purdy? Okay. Well, Josh Allen's an MVP award winner in this league. Josh Allen has thrown like 3,800 more passes than Brock Purdy in his career. Josh Allen is one of the best statistical quarterbacks when it comes to playoff football of all time. And we know that Josh Allen's a G. So I would say, if you're willing to criticize Josh Allen, and he deserves it, no player or quarterback is above criticism for random in-season games, then you got to be okay with Brock Purdy taking some criticism as well. Like, that's just the way that it works. Because unlike Josh Allen, who's stacked years upon years of greatness in this league, Brock Purdy has a single year. And that's what we're talking about. So, no, of course, I love Josh Allen. He's a phenomenal player, still a phenomenal player. Had a 6-touchdown game earlier this year, and he's had a couple stinkers. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, let me bring Matthew up. What's up, Matthew? Matthew, you there?
Yeah, what's up, Jesse?
What's up, man? Hey, you're cutting out a little bit. We'll see if we can get through the call, though.
All right. No problem. Listen, I got a question for you.
Nope. Call back in. I don't know if you're wearing like a headset, but it sounds like you're kind of underwater. So call back in. I'm going to kick you, and then just try to call back in if you can, Matt. Appreciate you. We'll give him a minute to call back in. Right. And so does Brock Purdy. And Josh Allen has 77 more career starts. So what are we talking about? Like, you see what I'm saying? You see how stats can lie to you using raw numbers like, hey, I know that Brock Purdy has 3 games with 3 or more interceptions, but what about Josh Allen? You love Josh Allen. Okay. Well, Josh Allen has 77 career more starts than Brock Purdy. And Josh Allen, by a lot of people, is labeled a turnover machine, even though he turns the ball over, but he also leads the league in touchdowns almost every single year. Brock Purdy just turns the ball over and doesn't lead shit in touchdowns. So, yes, he also has 3 games of 3+ interceptions in 77 more career starts than Brock Purdy. They both have 3 games, by the way. So, thanks for playing. Not going to work. He comes back and says, Jesse, you should be grateful that Brock is in the NFL. You would have no show without him. I heard the same thing when Trey Lance was the quarterback. Oh, what's Jesse going to do when Trey Lance leaves? Brother, I covered the 49ers. Like, this isn't rocket science. I am thankful for Brock, actually. It provides a lot of content, no doubt about it. But Brock, Mac, Papa, you could be the quarterback and I'll still make content and it'll be just fine. I'm not too worried about it. So, but I'm thankful for people like you, Papa, who are always in the chat. Either way, like, even though we disagree, man, you're still supporting. So I appreciate you. Okay, let's, I want to hit on a couple things just real quick. Speaking of Brock Purdy, I said earlier, and I'll say it again, if Brock Purdy has a good game against the Browns, I will be the first to call it out and say that he had a good game, because there's a lot of reasons why he shouldn't, right? And the 49ers in particular shouldn't. Weather, first of all, there's going to be moisture. It's going to be raining. Matthew, I'll get to you in a second. It's going to be raining. It's going to be in the 30s. We know how Brock plays in wet weather. It's a 1 p.m. Eastern game, which means 10 a.m. Pacific time. You've got the travel on a short week. That's never ideal. This team is playing 13 straight games. Now, a lot of these guys, Brock included, have missed a lot of games, so they shouldn't have the same fatigue. But you look at somebody like CMC, man, at his age with the amount of touches, 13 games without a bye week, that's rough. So I think that there's a lot there. And Jim Schwartz, he absolutely owns Kyle Shanahan. Absolutely owns him. We saw what Brock looked like the last time that he played in Cleveland. Remember, there was that 3-game stretch. That was the first time that people started to question Brock Purdy a little bit. Was that 3-game stretch where it was Cleveland? I think it was Cleveland, Minnesota Bengals, or maybe it was Minnesota, Cleveland Bengals. Whatever the order was, it was that 3-game stretch where he didn't look good at all. And Cleveland was one of those teams. And Cleveland's defense is very legit. The team, not so much. But the defense is very legit. So if Brock Purdy comes out and plays well, and I mean like plays well, not throws 20 passes at the line of scrimmage and completes 17 of them for 156 yards, a touchdown, and they win. Like, no. I mean, actually goes out and does what Brock Purdy wants to do and plays well. He's going to deserve a lot of credit, and I'll be the first one to say it. So I will be impressed with Brock Purdy and the 49ers if they can win this game and play well doing it. Because I think the Browns, again, we can talk about wins and losses. Just the way that they match up with the 49ers, it's tough. So I think there's a lot of reasons why you should pick the Browns in this game. And if the 49ers win going into a bye week, I think that'd be very, very, very impressive. All right, let's get to Matthew real quick. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, Jesse?
Hey, all right. Let me hold on a second. You're good now. You're not cutting out, but let me turn you up real quick. Get you cranked up here. All right, go ahead.
All right, so my question is, where would you rank Brock Purdy among active NFL starting quarterbacks? And also, do you think the 49ers can trade for Joe Burrow this offseason? Thank you.
All right, man. I'll talk to you. Thanks, Matthew. I appreciate it. I'll take the question. I'll bring you off stage and then I'll answer the question. God, where would I rank Brock Purdy? Okay, I'm going to try to do this quick. No order, okay? I'm just going to throw out names. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield. God, I know there's going to be somebody that I'm going to miss by doing this. Did I say Stafford? I don't even know if I said Stafford. 5. I don't know if I said Stafford. If not, we'll throw him in there. Burrow, obviously. We've got... Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Jalen Hurts. I prefer more of a pocket passer, but at some point, like, the guy he plays very well in the playoffs. He finds a way to win. I would take him. I would take Goff. I would take Drake May. I would take Jaden Daniels, although the injuries are sketch and it's early. I would take CJ Stroud, although not playing the greatest as of late. Like, he deserves some criticism as well. I think those are the only quarterbacks that I would for sure take over Brock. And after that, I feel like it's open for questions. I've never been a big Jordan Love guy. Caleb Williams, not the biggest fan of him coming out. So we got to see what he's going to do. Let's see. Not a big Sam Darnold guy, but you can make arguments for all these guys. Trevor Lawrence, same thing. Not a big Trevor Lawrence guy. So there's a lot of guys that I think are in like the same category with Brock that I'll listen to the argument, but I wouldn't necessarily take them. So I don't know where that puts them. Maybe 13, 14, something like that. So that's probably where I would have Brock, but I think anywhere from like 12 to 18 is fair, depending on what you're looking at. Anywhere in there is fair for me. I think anything below that would probably just be borderline hate at that point. So, yeah, 14-ish, I guess, 13, 14. Hopefully that answers the question. And then Joe Burrow. Okay, this one's interesting. I've said since last offseason, my biggest fear is that the Rams trade for Joe Burrow. I do believe that Joe Burrow is eventually going to ask out of Cincinnati. I don't know if it's going to happen this offseason. That I don't know. So I would say it's pretty unrealistic. However, if we look at the timing of when it could happen, I think he'll give it one more year. He was hurt this year, so they don't make the playoffs. He's got to take some of that blame. Like, man, I couldn't stay healthy. Let's give this one more year. Next year, they probably won't make the playoffs either. He's going to ask to get traded. That's when you can get out of Brock Purdy's contract and trade everything that you have to go get Joe frickin' Burrow. Joe Burrow with Kyle Shanahan would be amazing. The problem with that is that's also perfect timing for the Rams, who are probably going to have Stafford for one more year, and then they're going to be looking for a quarterback themselves. So you're going to be in direct competition if Joe Burrow's available with multiple teams. The Rams certainly being one. The 49ers should be in on that. You cannot let him go to the Rams. If he ends up somewhere else, great. But man, you cannot let him go to the Rams. If Joe Burrow ends up with the Rams, we might as well just throw in the towel. Like we're never going to win this division. We'll never win the division. Him with Sean McVay and that young defense, it'd be too much. So if Joe Burrow becomes available, the 49ers have to do everything they can, at the very least, to keep him away from the Rams. Also, you have to consider, you look at teams like the Jets, for example. I highly doubt Cincinnati's going to trade him within the AFC. They would prefer that if an NFC team steps forward with similar compensation, they're going to ship him to the NFC. So that's already half the league out. Only so many teams can actually go in and go get him. I just think it's probably like the Rams, maybe like the Cardinals, unfortunately, another team in division. Who else could be in on it? Seattle potentially at that point, depending on where they're at with Sam Darnold. Like the whole division could be in on him. I'm just trying to forecast a couple years from now. Falcons, maybe I could see. Saints, Panthers. There'd be a few NFC teams for sure. There'd be a few NFC teams. But yeah, I think the 49ers could certainly get Joe Burrow. I just don't think it would happen this offseason. I think we got to wait one more offseason realistically before Joe Burrow would request that trade. So interesting question, though. Hope he doesn't end up with the Rams. That would freaking suck, man. Oh, Vikings. Good point. Good point. Yeah, wouldn't it be? Yeah, maybe. All right, chill out. All right, don't get too excited, Seahawks fans. Come on. Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, you guys, multiple people brought up Minnesota. That's a very good point. Yeah, wouldn't that be the worst case scenario? Could you imagine the 49ers who were in on Stafford and lost out on Stafford to the Rams being in on Burrow and losing out on Burrow to the Rams? It'd be worse because he's younger. And they'll have him for longer, like the absolute worst. And they've built up a young offensive line. They can actually protect Joe Burrow. Yeah, no thanks, man. No thanks. That would be awful. That would be awful. All right, listen. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope all of you have a blessed time with your families, friends, whoever you celebrate with. I asked the callers today to give me something they are thankful for. Something they are thankful for. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to echo what Dre said. First of all, I think just waking up every single day is a blessing in itself. I definitely thank God every day for breath in my lungs, because you truly never know when that day's coming for you, whenever it's your time. So definitely thankful for that. But thankful for my kids, man. They're growing rapidly right now. I've got a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 11-year-old. Let me tell you, I said 14. I flipped up there. Should know the age of my kids. But my oldest, man, just turned 13 in October. He has a bigger shoe size than me. His hands are almost the same size as mine. This kid wears a men's medium. I'm wearing a large at this point, and I'm not a small guy. Like, I'm 6 foot, almost 6'2", around 200 pounds, 205 pounds, depending on how much water I've had that day. Big kid, healthy kid, strong, smart, so smart. So phenomenal. He's doing phenomenal. My youngest, you guys have seen him on the show here. It's been a couple years. He's my football ride or die. Major fan of the Ravens. Every single Ravens game, it looks like Ravens threw up in my house. You got the comforter laid out. You got Ravens stuffed animals. He's wearing a Ravens chain with a Ravens jersey and a Ravens hat and a Ravens blanket. He's got the whole nine set up. And it's just fun watching these guys grow. They're both super smart, super kind, just smart kids, man. I'm so proud and so blessed of them. So those are the things that I'm thankful for this holiday season. And quite frankly, I'm thankful for you guys as well. It's been a weird year for me overall, but a lot of great things have come from it. And you guys, regardless, football takes aside, what have you, a lot of you guys show support every single show. I see a big chunk of the same names over and over and over. Some of you guys support just by, trolling. Some of you guys support just by being in the chat. Some of you guys support by being members of the channel, super chats, whatever. And some of you just watch. You don't even say anything. You're lurkers every single time. And I appreciate you guys too. So to anybody that watches the channel, has watched the channel, supports it in one way or another, whether we agree on football opinions or not, I'm thankful for you guys as well. And I hope you guys all have a blessed day. The 49ers don't play, so that's fun. We should be rooting for the Lions to lose. So go Pack, go. Sounds a little weird to say that, but we're definitely rooting for the Lions to lose. Friday, we're rooting for the Bears to lose just because the Eagles and Packers are ahead of the 49ers, and we're trying to make a wild card at this point. So those are the two teams as 49er fans that we should be rooting for to lose this week. And I think there's a good chance that could happen. I think both of them could certainly lose. So that's what we're rooting for. And then we need a 49er victory on Sunday. As always, I'll be back with the post-game show with David, post-game rant, as soon as that game ends around 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully we're celebrating a 49ers win. I do think this one's going to be super tough. If I have to put a prediction out there, I'm actually going to pick the Browns. I picked them before the season started. I felt like the 13 weeks in a row, the 1 p.m. time slot, the weather could be iffy. It just seemed like on paper this was going to be a loss for the 49ers. I think now in hindsight, seeing Brock Purdy come off the game that he's coming off, now knowing for a fact that the weather is what it is, I just think that this is prime for the Browns to win. We'll see. The 49ers absolutely can win this game. I hope that they win this game. And either way, we'll be back for the post-game rant. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. We'll talk soon. Much love. Peace.